This week on the Analog Circle podcast, Ubisoft has canceled multiple projects, but one of those cancellations, oh my gosh, I am hurt. Oh, the pain. Xbox is making a tier where you can watch ads to play games, watch commercials to play some free games. What is the gaming landscape coming to? Nintendo allegedly had a leak date for a AAA game coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 platform, and I will tell you, it is a current generation game. It actually is kind of popular, I may say. And GameStop, oh man, GameStop looks like they have seen some of their better days that are unfortunately in their rear view mirror because of reports coming out today. But all of these stories can be found here and more in episode 369 of the Analog Circle podcast. I am your host, Kiaun Mitchell, and welcome to the show. Come on in and sit down and relax because we're going to have a great conversation today. And if you are traveling, hopefully we can accompany you to your destination. Now, with that being said, if you want to be a part of the show, a part of listener feedback, which we have to go over in this episode, you can do it two different ways. You can either call in at 667-284-9057 and let your voice be heard, or you can email the show, and the email address is simply the Analog Circle Podcast at gmail.com. Now, with that being said, let's get into the first email for listener feedback, which came way of, oh man, this is a good friend of the show right here, Mr. Crimson Phoenix. So you guys remember last week I was asking y'all the question, how many games did you beat in 2025? Well, this is Crimson Phoenix's response. He says, finished games in 2025, some with 100% completion. He has Bright Memory, 100%. I did beat it, but I didn't 100% beat it. He has Bright Memory Infinite at 100%. Keeper at 100%. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. He has RoboCop Rogue City 100%. RoboCop Rogue City Unfinished Business 100%. Ocean Keeper, The Quarry, the casting of Frank Stone. Man, you got to tell me about those two games, Crimson. Man, how did you feel about The Quarry and the casting of Frank Stone? I believe those games came from the same team that made Until Dawn, if I'm not mistaken, but somebody can correct me. But moving on with your email. He says, Revenge of the Savage Planet, Gears Remastered. Oh, man, that's dope. Avowed, Half-Life Alyx. Really? Hey, man, listen, if you don't do anything, Crimson, let me know. Even if you don't let me know about The Quarry and the casting of Frank Stone, I want to know what your experience was with Half-Life Alyx, because they say that game right there is unbelievable in VR. So you got to let me know something, my brother. Let me continue with your list. He says Beyond Enemy Lines Remastered. He 100% at that. Says Slayers X, Dig a Hole Simulator, and Your Toy. Man, hold on, brother. What is Your Toy and Dig a Hole Simulator, brother? You got to kind of let us in on what these two titles are all about, my friend. Well, let me continue with your email here, my brother. He says, you forgot a big news story. The PS5 jailbreak and the possibility that as a result of it, Sony might move to the next gen sooner than planned. What? Stopping support for the PS5 prematurely to stop piracy of new games. He says, wait a minute, A jailbreak? Now, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Now, you got to correct me if I'm wrong here, Crimson. Are you talking about the jailbreak where you can use, give me a second, brother, because y'all know my memory is shot. Hold on. I think it has something to do with a Star Wars game. PS3, I think Star Wars game, you could put it in the PS5 or something like that. It was backwards compatible. I don't know what the world was going on. But if you're talking about that, I did read about that, but I didn't know it was a situation where it was making it so that people could pirate some of their new games, some of Sony's new games. Now that is, yeah, that's a mind blow right there, God dog. Man, you got to kind of elaborate on that one for me, my brother. But let me finish up your email. He says, P.S. I guess this means I'm still here if you ever had any doubt in your mind. Oh, man, shout out to my brother. Oh, man, shout out to you, Crimson. Man, I really, truly appreciate that, my brother.
I'm really excited.
Oh man, I got doggone Gamer Tag Radio on right now. Pardon me, y'all. Unprofessional productions. Excuse me. Hold on. I was trying to find something here though, real quick. If y'all can just bear with me before we get into the meat and potatoes of the show. But again, Crimson Phoenix, really quickly, brother. That was very rude of me. Pardon me for that. I truly appreciate you taking the time out, my brother, and writing in. And your list, how many games? Let me check out how many games it is that you beat here, man. Let me count them off real quick. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18 games. Golly. Here it is, man. I read off my list. I thought I was being bold and amazing. I had a total of, how many games did I beat last year? Beat a total of doggone 8 games, man.
Move this, man.
God dog, man. 8 games. And I thought I was doing something, man. Crimson Phoenix. You got it, brother. You got it. But again, as always, I truly appreciate you writing in. Thank you again so much, my brother. So with that being said, let's get into what we all come here for, brothers and sisters, and that is no doubt the game news that went down. So matter of fact, I'm about to pull this story up in a hot minute, and I got it from IGN. So check this out. This is Ubisoft. Oh, these jokers right here. Cherabo. So Ubisoft canceled 6 projects, including, and this one, oh man, I didn't see this one coming. Out of the 6 projects that got canceled, one of them was Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake. Oh, man, brothers. Out of everything they could have canceled, did they have to cancel that? Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake. It hurts. Now, the thing is that the other remake, as it were, Black Flag remake, it looks to have been delayed. Not canceled, just delayed. And the reason, now check this out, the reason why this is happening is because they are pretty much restructuring a couple of things. It says here, Ubisoft has announced a sweeping company restructure that will result in the cancellation of 6 games, including its Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake, and a delay to a further 7 titles. 2 Ubisoft studios will be closed completely as a result of the changes, while others are subject to further layoffs. The story continues. Excuse me. It says, of the half dozen games that have been fully scrapped, Ubisoft is only publicly naming one today. Its long-awaited Sands of Time remake that was rebooted once already. Says 3 of the canceled games were new IPs, while one was a mobile game. Well, we don't care about mobile, but one of them was a mobile game. And Ubisoft's core focus going forward is the company has said it will be on open world games and live services. So seems like it's just a restructuring. We have heard Ubisoft going through these lulls and having a third party step in to give them money to help them out. They have just been in a rough patch for quite some time now. And believe you me, my Ubisoft stock shows it. I think that joke is worth 10 cents right now. They are in a horrible way. I don't know what's going to happen with Ubisoft. I know they've been time and time again trying to void off a hostile takeover from Tencent. Those jokers been breathing down their neck for quite some time, and they've been ducking and dodging. But it just seems like, how many more times can they do this? You know, with multiple games being canceled, Black Flag being pushed back, being delayed. I know that I was really looking forward to the new Assassin's Creed game that's supposed to be more like a Witcher, kind of like, what's it called? Hexen or Hex? One of those names. I thought that maybe we would get something on that later on this year. But with these cancellations and multiple games, multiple new IPs, being canceled, I don't know what's going to happen with that. So again, for anybody like myself that was looking forward to Prince of Persia, God, dog, how y'all do that to the Sands of Time remake? It is no longer on the table. Let's go ahead, though, guys, and let's get into the next story. And from this point on, I'm going to kind of speed it up a little bit, try to get us out of here in an hour. So the next story actually comes from IGN. So this was some news that I wasn't aware of, but did y'all know Doug Bowser is no longer the boss of Nintendo of America? He's no longer there. That joker got up and left.
What did he say?
I'm telling you, this joker said, hey, my time is over. I have done it. I have made you successful, and I'm out of here. Now, this happened in December. His last day was December 31st. Now, we filled that role at Nintendo for around a decade, about 10 years. But now Bowser has shifted roles yet again, and this time he's joined the board of directors at doggone Hasbro. Hasbro, y'all know the company guy, dog. You know, Hasbro. So yet again, he will be working for a company with plenty of IPs. I mean, this company has Dungeons and Dragons, Magic Gathering, and god doggone Transformers. You know, to say the least. So this joker can do a couple of things with these. Now again, he's on the board of directors, so that's a pretty high up position. We'll see what happens, though. I wonder what. Now, my question is, hold on, brothers. Now, I got a question for y'all. Now, how y'all feeling about Nintendo? Now, me, I'm looking at my Nintendo stock. That joker has gone down. Matter of fact, I feel like going and seeing how much it's worth at the moment. But I don't want to waste y'all time. But the question I have for y'all is, are y'all still confident in Nintendo? Because I want to see what the sales are like. Now, don't quote me, but I believe Nintendo sales are down on the Switch too. Let's see. Are sales on the Nintendo Switch 2 down? That wasn't even it. I said,
since your podcast is today, January 21st, 2020.
That wasn't even a question. I said, hold on, give me a second here. Are Nintendo Switch 2 sales down?
This is the controversial topic for your podcast today. The answer is a bit of a yes and no situation that has analysts and the stock market in a frenzy. As of January 21st, 2026, Nintendo is dealing with a bizarre split in its performance that you can frame as the holiday slump versus the global record. The case for sales are down. While the console had a historic launch in June 2025, the holiday 2025 data released this month was surprisingly weak in Western markets.
I knew it!
U.S. holiday crash. Sales in the U.S. were reportedly down 35% compared to the...
That's all we need. 35%! 35% these jokers are down right now. And in Europe and UK, sales lag behind the original Switch by about 16 to 30% across various European territories during November and December. Oh, man. It was a situation, and I still stand by this. I do not think the Switch 2 is going to sell as many units as the original Switch. When any new console comes out, we all know this, as the hardcore, there is going to be a frenzy of people that are going to go out and buy the console. Why? Because they're the hardcore. That's what we do. Whenever a new console comes out and you want it, you buy it. All of a sudden, people are saying, oh, no, Nintendo is going to be great. Look at the sales. The sales are up. They're breaking records. They're doing amazingly well. I'm sitting there the whole time saying, I know. But it seems like after the, how can I say, holiday rush is over, it seems to me that it ain't working no more.
You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok. This is what he does.
I'm telling you, everybody thought it was gonna be amazing. Incredible. $80 games. $80. Oh, I don't know about this. I'm curious to know your thoughts. Do y'all think Nintendo is going to make a comeback? Do you think they're going to match and exceed the numbers of the Switch 2 at a $450 to $500 price range? I don't think so, but I want to know your thoughts. I don't want to make this episode too long, but I found it interesting that that's what Nintendo is dealing with today. And doggone Doug Bowser, that brother's out. He went to Hasbro. The doggone try to make a new Dungeons and Dragons game and whatnot. I look forward to seeing what this brother does over there on the board of directors. We shall see, though, in due time. Now, speaking of Nintendo, come on, man. I want to mention this. I got this from Screen Rant. So I'm sure y'all know this, but if not, Final Fantasy Remake Intergrade has a demo that's available for both Xbox Series and Switch 2. But coming up, which is going to be tomorrow on January 22nd, the game will receive a free update to celebrate the release on Switch 2 and Xbox Series consoles. Now, this patch will streamline progression, including the ability to keep your HP and MP topped up and always strike for 9,999 damage. So in other words, it's pretty much, it's a code that you would have used back in the day on the Game Shark or the Game Genie. It's cheat mode for anybody that just is struggling at the game and you want to enjoy the story. Man, all you do is put it in this doggone streamlined progression mode and you out there knocking off enemies at 9,999 hit points. It is amazing. Matter of fact, I'm going to have a question about that a little later on. I want to get you guys' thoughts. But again, just sticking with this story. Final Fantasy VII Intergrade, you're going to have a super easy mode if you just want to enjoy the story, stress-free gaming, and knocking off all of these enemies at max damage. I'm looking forward to that. And be honest, man, I was a Game Shark fiend. I used to enjoy the Game Shark. Game Genie, I had it. Well, I borrowed it from a friend. Couldn't afford it at the time. Borrowed it from a friend. I said, man, this is sick. This is amazing. It was incredible. But that Game Shark on the PlayStation, you hook that joke up in the back. Oh, man, forget all about it. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Anyway, let's go ahead, though, guys, and let's move on into the next story. And, yeah, I got this story from WCCF Tech. So we got rumors last week that PSSR 2.0 will be releasing by March of this year, and have heard the capabilities of this thing. It could be incredible. Well, now we actually have something. We got something to actually, I might add, actually look at to show off what it can do. And that came way of PlayStation extraction shooter Marathon, that according to reports will, quote, blend 5K. I said it. Yes, 5K internal rendering into a clean, stable 4K image on PS5 Pro. God, dog. Yeah, this is going to make it clean so your runner's view stays sharp even when the action gets hectic. So if this report is true, Marathon would be the first game on PS5 Pro enhanced title to render internally at 5K resolution. That would be something. Now, I'll be honest with y'all. I saw a Marathon the other day. Man, and I mean, listen, man, not everything is for everybody. I am definitely aware of that, but it didn't do anything for me. I saw that game. I said, man, this looks like nothing that I would be interested in at all. At all.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
It is no darn way I'm playing that game. No. Did you see the way it looked? I said, oh, no. Look at these graphics, man. What is going on with this thing? Here it is. We're in 2026. That game had no type of beautiful graphical prowess anywhere in sight. I said, nah, I'm cool off of that one right there. But if it's doing 5K and all of that good stuff and making it sharp and smooth and bringing it back down to 4K and all of that stuff and making it look great, man, it should be doing that and more, because them graphics ain't hitting on much of nothing. This thing should be running at 120 frames per second at 5K, 4K resolution, whatever the case may be. This game this game gonna come out and get a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10, Bungie. I have no faith. Zero faith in this game from Macintosh 1991 edition from back in the day. That's where Marathon started at, on a Macintosh. Man, get the heck out of here. Sony, I think y'all was bugging with this one, but I don't know. We shall see. Anyway, let's move on into the next story that I got from Game and Bible. So this is just quick news. Death Stranding Director's Cut is coming to Game Pass Ultimate and Premium. Matter of fact, that joker's out today, January 21st. That game is available on Game Pass, and that is awesome, man. Now, you know what? That ain't no darn awesome. This game is like 100 years old, man. 100 years old. I played this game. Listen, I played this game on PlayStation 4. I couldn't get into it. Now, I will say, Death Stranding 2, I still got to buy that game. Still got to get it. I'm more interested in playing that game than even trying to go back to Death Stranding. Now, I don't know, the director's cut, maybe it could be a little bit different. It could be. But I sure hope, this is one thing I hope. I hope that Xbox fans, you brothers and sisters that own that console right there, I hope you guys support the heck out of this game. I really do. Because you just may get Death Stranding 2. And I know y'all are saying, man, it's a timed exclusive. Why do we care? It's going to come over to the Xbox. Did y'all see y'all sales numbers earlier this year? Man, I don't like giving y'all false information. So I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask what the sales numbers were this year. What were the sales numbers of the Xbox brand last year?
If you're prepping for your podcast, this is likely going to be your most doom and gloom segment. The numbers for Xbox hardware in 2025 were, by almost every analytical account, historically bad. Here's the breakdown of the Xbox brand's performance over the last year. The hardware collapse. While Microsoft no longer officially reports unit sales, industry trackers, VG Charts, CNBC, and Canalys have painted a grim picture of 2025. Unit sales estimates suggest Microsoft sold only 1.8 to 2.1 million Xbox Series 10 consoles globally in 2025.
No darn way. Hold on. It ain't no, brother. Yeah, dog. It ain't no darn way. This thing said that it's estimated that Microsoft sold 1.8 to 2.1 million Series XS consoles globally in 2025. Ah, darn. I mean, listen, I like to take a jab, a friendly jab every now and again, but darn, that's a little too serious. That's a little daggone too serious. Man, these jokers ain't sell nothing. Yo, these is Coleco numbers. TurboGrafx 16. Neo Geo. Sega Saturn. I don't even know if Sega Saturn did that darn back. God, dog. You know what, man? Shoot. Listen, man, play Death Stranding on your doggone Game Pass Ultimate and enjoy that mother lover sister. God, dog. You know what? That's depressing. We gonna move on into the next story, man. God, dog, yeah. See, I like to joke around, but whoa. That got a little too serious. Man, so let me see. What do I have here, man? Oh, man, I guess this ain't going to be much better. I got this story for Windows Central. Hey, we talking about Xbox. We may as well keep on going down this darn rabbit hole right now. So, last week, man, some users noticed while launching games on Xbox Cloud Gaming, oh, man, a message popped up that said, and I quote, 1 hour of ad support playtime per session, end of quote. So, once people start seeing that, they started wondering, will this feature be available for all tiers of Xbox Cloud Gaming or not? Well, it was confirmed by a source, and this is according to Windows Central, that ads will appear separately on Xbox Cloud Gaming. For those who have purchased Xbox games digitally, but don't have Xbox Game Pass. Now, I was totally confused by this. But apparently you need at least one tier of Xbox Game Pass to access the hundreds of games available to buy via xCloud Gaming. But this session based ad supported access tier, that's gonna change all of that. So, oh man, Xbox, what is going on? I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm throwed off. Man, these jokers just blew my whole mind up with that one. God, dog. 2 million units for the whole year globally. I'm gone. Man, y'all don't understand, man. This really hurts. This really. And they got a show coming up tomorrow. These jokers gonna have to put on a brave face tomorrow. Brave. Man, we're gonna have to be up on stage smiling, happy and whatnot. Like, man, everything is great. This explains everything as to why these games are coming over to PlayStation. Matter of fact, PlayStation, I think those guys, they picked up, what was it, like 500,000 copies of Forza 6? Forza Horizon 5. Sorry about that. That's going to be tomorrow. How many units of Forza Horizon 5 sold on PlayStation 5? Because I don't know exactly.
As of January 21st, 2026, the data on Forza Horizon 5 sales for the PlayStation 5 has become a major industry talking point. After its debut on Sony's platform in April 2025, the game has exceeded all initial analyst expectations. PS5 sales milestone. According to estimates from Alinea Analytics, the Forza Horizon 5 Standard Edition has officially surpassed 5.1 million units sold on the PlayStation 5 alone.
God,
Massive revenue.
dog.
These sales have generated over $300 million in revenue for Microsoft from what is essentially a port of a 4-year-old game. Top performer.
Man, you know what? God, dog, that's crazy. That's crazy. Wow. 5.1 million units sold on PlayStation 5, and that's just from April to current. That's what? May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. Slightly, maybe not less, but around 9 months. This thing has sold over 5 million copies, generating over $300 million in revenue for Microsoft. Gosh, that is crazy. Man, I see why they got Halo coming over to PlayStation 5. Now, granted, it's not going to have multiplayer, but Halo will be coming to PlayStation 5. I'm not sure if it's day and date, probably will be. But the remake, that is, Halo remake, golly. Yeah, that's something. So tomorrow, like I said, they got the show, they got Fable that's going to be on there. Forza Horizon 6 is going to be on there. Those are the two games that I'm looking forward to the most. And I'm not even a Forza fan, but it's in Tokyo. It's going to be in Japan. That's going to be interesting. Can't wait to see what that looks like. But wow, this is so, man, Microsoft, Xbox is in such a crazy space. Here it is. You're going to start having people watch ads to be able to play for an hour. This was something we had covered like last year, maybe the year before, where it was reports out there saying that this thing was in the works in smaller countries, smaller regions of the world. This was something that was being, kind of thrown around. So it looks like it's actually going to come to fruition. Now, how soon that's going to be, it was no time, it was no date, it was no month when we could be expecting this. It's just something that is on the docket, and we will get it eventually. So we'll see what happens and how that actually works out. I mean, would you really be willing to sit there for an hour of play and have an ad start rolling, almost like one of those cell phone games? Oh, man, I can't do that. I don't want this to be gaming. I don't want this to be a part of gaming at all. Free or not, man, just pay your way and be able to enjoy the game the way that it was intended to be played. I do not like this slippery slope right here. Not a fan. Be curious to know you guys' thoughts on this, though. But let's go ahead and move on for the sake of time into the next story that I got from The Gamer. So in more Nintendo news, they have a few wins coming, their way later on this year. Courtesy, we had talked about it just a little earlier, Final Fantasy VII Intergrade, which is releasing on January 22nd, which is tomorrow. But not only that is coming out very soon, we have another game that allegedly had a leaked date that actually happened, and that is Borderlands 4. It's supposed to be releasing for the Switch 2, and this was seen on a store listing in Portuguese site, which is called Gaming Replay. It's saying that the game is going to release on the Switch 2 on February 27th, 2026. So whether or not that's true or not, we'll have to wait and see, but it definitely, and I should have said this, it is a rumor. Look at all these rumors surrounding me every day. So we'll see if it actually happens. Again, keep your mind, not your mind, but your eyes and your ears open for February 27th, 2026. Again, this is not coming from Gearbox. It is not official. But let's go ahead and let's move on into the next story that I got from Fox Business. So things are not looking good for GameStop because, unfortunately, 30 stores will be closing in New York as part of a nationwide shuttering, or I should say, shuttering that will impact at least 470 locations by the end of the month. So by the end of January, 470 GameStop locations will have been affected. And the reason for this is failing sales. Gaming sales are so digital now. Hardly anybody is going into GameStop to get physical games. Me, I still love my physical discs, but I'm getting old, man. I'm turning into a dinosaur in gaming years. I'm 47. A lot of these guys, these younger guys, 13, 15, 19, 25, all they really know is digital. So a person of my age, I feel like I'm starting to get a little obsolete out here, just a little bit. Anytime GameStop is out here pretty much failing because they're just not selling enough games that are physical, it does kind of bother me. It really does. I mean, I just got a 4 terabyte hard drive. Oh my gosh. On the PlayStation 5, I got the 4 terabyte hard drive. And I got the PlayStation VR 2, and I gotta shout out my wife for both of those purchases. Thank you, baby. I appreciate you. Oh, man, it was a heck of a gift. A heck of a gift. So me getting that hard drive, man, and it was easy too. Well, I ain't going to even front. It wasn't easy to install. Getting that doggone plate off of the PlayStation 5 was tough. I was scared to death. I thought I was going to crack the joker, trying to rip it off and whatnot. Eventually I got it, did a tutorial video to get it off. Once I got it off, getting the memory installed into the joint and all of that stuff, that let me know right there, I'm not cut out for PC gaming. That is not going to be a thing that I think I will ever do as long as I have a choice to get a console. It wasn't even hard, but just having to unscrew stuff take plates off and whatnot. I'm like, yeah, this ain't for me. I just want the console just to work. I don't want to have to do any RAM, any hard drive add-ons, any of that stuff. I just want to click and play. But I bring up that 4 terabyte hard drive for this reason. I want to get so many games this generation. I already have maybe 40 games this generation, which for some is like peanuts. That's a small amount, but I got about 40 games, and actually being able to put all of those games on the hard drive, and there's still a ton of space left. I'm like, man, bring it on. All of these physical games I would much rather have than digital. I mean, again, you can delete them off and you can always put them back on with the disc. You can do it digitally as well, but I guess I'm just a little old school in that sense. I trust it, but I don't trust it. You know, one day you might go and look and the game might be gone off the digital store. That happens. So I'm always more willing, or I prefer, I should say, a physical copy if I can get it. So with GameStop being in the situation that it's in, I'm not saying, or I'm hoping that GameStop doesn't fully close down. I mean, I hate that people are going to lose their jobs. This is going to affect a lot of people, unfortunately, with that many stores closing. You know, but I hope that it doesn't get to the point where they completely shut down. Because, I mean, you got Best Buy that sell some physical games, but it's only like a handful that you can get from there. So just the physical aspect of gaming is really, really going obsolete, man. And I don't like it. But GameStop, I guess, you know, anytime the video stores went away, you know, I guess it was just a matter of time, you know, before the video game stores, the physical video game stores would go away. I just hope that they'll be able to hold on just enough to make sure that they can operate and people can still go inside and pick up these physical games, because I think that they are still very much so needed. But I would love to get you guys' thoughts on that. But guys, we are getting into the final story for this week. And this actually came from The Gamer as well. So you guys might have heard a stat rolling around that says more than 50% of 2025's live service games have lost 90% of their users. Well, not you see, but if you hear something like that, you know, that these live service games are losing, or from 2025 have lost 90%, you would think, oh crap, it is a gaming crisis going on right now. Well, let me break down to you what games are included in this. So you got Supervive, Fragpunk, Mecha Break, Killing Floor 3, Inzoi, Blue Protocol, Star Resonance, FBC Firebreak, Dune, Splitgate 2, Rematch, and Skate. Ha! I don't know more than half of these games right here. But let's continue on, though. So Sonic Rumble, Persona 5, The Phantom X, RuneScape, Dragon Wilds, and Battlefield 6. Big old Battlefield. Battlefield, who was out there shooting shots off at Call of Duty. This joke. I mean, he tore the whole clip out the frame. Battlefield is killing Call of Duty. That's what people said. But guess what? Call of Duty ain't even on this list. Call of Duty ain't even on this list, but Battlefield is. But wait, it gets worse. Oh, man. I got to continue with the list for the sake of time. Oh, man. Battlefield taking down Call of Duty. These jokers lost 80% of their user base. Now we're going to continue. Now I don't know the name of this game. It's called Umamasu. That's what I'm going to call it. It's spelled Umamusumi. Umamasumi. Yeah, Pretty Derby is what they call it though. Umamasumi, Pretty Derby. And it said Elden Ring, Night Rain. Those two games lost about 70% of their fan base, of their users. Now, the interesting thing is Arc Raiders, they only lost 3.2% of their fan base. But again, these numbers, to be fair, they are coming from Steam. Oh, man, good old Steam on the PC. But my point is, you didn't hear anything about, again, Call of Duty, Fortnite, or Marvel Rivals. And you know why you didn't hear anything about those? Because at the end of the day, it can only be a handful that take the majority of most gamers' attention. You guys have to stop believing that you can jump into this market. Battlefield 6 lost 80% of their fan base thus far. 80%. Now they could gain them back. I'm sure they get some DLC out there. They'll be right back in the mix. But the fact of the matter is that most of you guys out there that are making these games that think that you're gonna be able to get noticed and people are gonna come out there and enjoy your game. The fact of the matter is,
ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
That's all it is. So would you please stop flooding the market with all of these doggone games that most people won't even play? They're going to play your game for a week. They may play it for a month, but eventually they're going back home. They're going back home to their girlfriend that they really, really like. They're going back home to their wife game that they're always faithful to. It's Call of Duty, Fortnite, and at this moment in time, Marvel Rivals. All of you other games are just side chicks. That's it. Y'all are the side gaming fun. I'm going to come and see you for a little bit. We're going to have a good time. Then I'm going back home. These jokers ain't like Richie from Harlem Nights, where he calling saying he ain't never coming back home again. Instead, these jokers eventually, they going back home. They going. So would you please just stop it? Make more single player games for people like me. Because I'm not playing any of these games. Y'all know that I'm not playing multiplayer. I refuse. It's just not my thing. But again, just don't be fooled by that number, 90%. 80%. The ones that matter. Now, I'm not going to say the ones that matter. That's being a little too foul. Pardon me. I take that back. I'll just say for the ones that are at the height of what they do, the main three, Call of Duty, Fortnite, and again, for the moment, Marvel Rivals. These games aren't even mentioned at all. So I'm saying, don't believe the numbers all the time. But anyway, with that being said, that is the end of the gaming news this week, which leads me into the final section. That's right, the final section of the podcast. And of course, I know you guys saw the question already, but let's go over it officially. And the question is, does easy difficulty upset you? The reason why I'm bringing this up, you guys might have heard me allude to it a little earlier with Final Fantasy VII Intergrade, where you're going to be able to put it in a mode where pretty much you're going to be able to beat the enemies with 999 damage with no problem. If you want to enjoy the story and you're just there for the story and the gameplay and all of that stuff is just a second, I hate to say a second thought, because for me, gameplay is everything. That's the thing that makes me enjoy a game. That's the thing that makes the game become an adventure for me. But if you're not of that cloth, if you just want to get in, enjoy your game and get out, are you mad that some people choose easy difficulty? Because for me, now I'm going to tell you something, brothers and sisters, I'm going to let you know right now. When I get Final Fantasy VII Integrate, because I only have the original Final Fantasy VII Remake. I never got the Integrate version. But let me tell you, if that game gets a little too hard and I'm trying to get through the story, oh, you doggone right, I'm bumping that joker down to the easiest level absolutely possible.
Move this man!
Man, listen, I'm sorry, doggone. I'm 47 years old. I want to enjoy the game. I don't want to struggle. I'm tired of struggling. I struggled in the 80s and the 90s and some of the 2000s, the early part. I don't want to struggle anymore. I want to be able to play a game and enjoy it. Enjoy it for the story. Enjoy it for the gameplay. Enjoy it for the graphics. Enjoy it for the voice acting. I want to enjoy the whole thing. I don't want to sit there and be frustrated. Like, oh man, I don't feel like going through this again. I just want to play and enjoy the game. That's it. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do it with a smile on my face. When people say that they getting frustrated and they getting mad and all of that stuff, I say, why so serious? Gaming is supposed to be fun at the end of the day. Why are you over here stressing? Life is enough stress. Man, as high as bills and BG&E is here in Baltimore and food prices and whatnot, man, shucks, I wish I would be stressing over a video game. As much as I love gaming and the gaming culture, I refuse to be one of these people mad, frustrated at a game. I'm here for a good time, not a hard time. But I want to hear from you. Again, does easy difficulty upset you where you're like, man, I'm a purist. I want to play the game at the hardest difficulty, or doesn't have to be the hardest difficulty. I want to play it at least on normal difficulty. You know, doggone what you saying, Kiaun, and I would respect that. Now, granted, I'm not going to go as far as to do the remote play. Now, y'all have heard that, not Nintendo, but PlayStation has this patent that the game is supposed to play itself through AI or something like that if you're having a tough time. Now, I'm not going that doggone far. I do want to be a part of the experience. I don't want to just hand it off remote style. That's not at all what I want to do. I do want to enjoy the game. I want to enjoy the mechanics, but I am not trying to have it be extra difficult. So if you want to be a part of the discussion, you can always call in at 667-284-9057 to let your voice be heard. Or you can email the show, and the email address is theanalogcirclepodcast@gmail.com. Before I go, I gotta shout out few people here. Gotta shout out to my good brother, Mr. Lawrence Jones. Gotta shout out my brother, Mike J. That's my dude. Gotta shout out my guy, Cody Clark. Of course, Crimson Phoenix, Glove Box. I appreciate all of you brothers, and I know Vaughn, appreciate you too. And you, the listener, I truly appreciate you guys for being here. Thank y'all again so much. So with that being said, guys, before we get this thing wrapped up and put a bow on it, always remember one thing. It is not about the consoles. It is about the games. So until next time, when we do it again, until then, you guys take care. Be safe out there. Bye-bye.